Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sabrina Rising. I'm a spiritual mentor and a psychic medium. And today we're going to talk about how to start channeling. This is my favorite thing in the world to do, and I want to share some of my tips and techniques that I use that allow me to receive messages for myself, for my loved ones, for my clients. If you've stopped by Oracle Hour and you've watched me channel live, this is how I do it. And anybody can do it. It's just a matter of setting up your belief system, developing a practice, and getting comfortable with it, and developing deep trust and surrender in the process of receiving, so you can start to believe the messages that are coming through and allow yourself to go with them. Okay, so this is something that takes practice. It's something you can master over time. And like I said, anybody can do it. Okay, so first of all, what is channeling? Channeling is receiving information. That's all it is. It doesn't require some special ability or some kind of mystical ritual that only an elite few have access to. It's just something that we develop, that we, first of all, develop the belief system that, number one, we have to trust that we can channel. So if you have, when you think about channeling, if you have so many doubts and limiting beliefs that come up, even just considering channeling, if you think, oh, well, other people, that's not for me, it's for other people, I don't have the ability, I don't trust myself, or this is ridiculous, and there's no way this is really happening. Like, just notice the voice of the inner critic. In fact, developing yourself as a channel is a wonderful way to start exploring how harsh the inner critic is, your own internal dialogue around judgments, around this work, around your abilities, about what you can and cannot do, who you can and cannot be. Okay, so the tools we use to do inner work, for example, in human life, to work through our triggers, work through our limiting beliefs, work through our early childhood conditioning, are the same tools that we're going to use in this mystical realm to develop ourselves as channels. Okay, it's always the same techniques that we're using: the breath, the inner stillness, the awareness, the observation of our inner critic, our also known as our limiting beliefs, and really being able to see what those are, so that we can create a more empowering context for us, and give ourselves permission to even enter this realm, right? So if you unconsciously don't believe this is possible for you, it's not going to work, ultimately, is what I'm trying to say. So we have to believe that we can channel. All right, so that's the first body of work that I invite you to do, is really sit with yourself and say, okay, can I do this work? What is in the way of me being able to believe that I can channel, that I can be an intuitive, that I can receive messages from universal intelligence? Okay, so that would be the first step. The second step is to create a space of clear energy, a place that feels welcoming and nurturing, and calm and serene. So I have an area in my house that I love to channel in, and this is my favorite orange chair that I sit in, that allows me to sort of connect with nature. I have a view of my backyard. I have it's very quiet here. I'm undisturbed. I have some tools that I use. I love to burn some sage. I love to burn some Palo Santo as well. So there's just little things that I do that create a set of mood and a tone for me, that allow me to sort of feel uplifted and open and grounded in this space. Okay, so this is something that is very personal. So I invite you to create a space in your own home. It can be, just like I said, a space where you won't be disturbed, where you feel safe, where there's maybe some artifacts or things or tools that represent you. You could have some power stones or candles or things that really open up your heart or really connect you to that higher frequency of mysticism and whatever really speaks to your soul. Okay, so just notice, this can be a fun activity as well as creating this space in your home. Just notice what you feel drawn to and just trust that. Okay, because that's also spirit communicating to you. This is what you need in order to start channeling. Okay, so pay attention to that. The third thing that I do is I just get quiet. So for me, I close my eyes and I take some big belly breaths. Okay, and I talk about the diaphragmatic breathing all the time. This allows me to ground, to get into my body, to regulate my nervous system, and to relax and let go. Now, I mentioned this in another video as well. We have been trained as humans to use our minds to focus, right? To go looking for information, to research information, to figure out what the right way to do something is. So channeling is the complete opposite of that. Okay, channeling is like dropping out of focus. This is what I want you to visualize. Imagine a camera lens going out of focus and everything gets really blurry. Okay, this is what will happen to your logical brain as you relax and allow information to come through, whether that is a trickle down or it's a massive download all at once, or perhaps it's a series of images, or perhaps it's a message you hear, or something you feel physically. Okay, so there's three main ways. I'll mention this here and now: feeling, seeing, and hearing, that we're really going to talk about today in terms of channeling. There's other types of channeling, but we'll save that for another video. So channeling, again, is just receiving information, and you can be receiving it, like I said, through visions, through audio, or through physical sensations. Okay, so we'll focus on these three main areas, and so just allowing yourself to get still and quiet and settling into your body, taking those big belly breaths and visualizing yourself really dropping out of focus. We're not trying to make anything happen. Okay, so I do this practice every time I sit, whether I'm channeling for myself or channeling for a client or channeling for a group. I really just let go and just get centered and grounded, and I relax and I set an intention to let go of any attachment to any outcome. Okay, I'm not trying to make something happen. We're not trying to use our minds here, or this is not about being impressed with ourselves or getting it right. In fact, you might channel all kinds of messages that make no sense to you, and that's okay. All right, so for today, I'm going to teach you a couple of different techniques that you can start using at home once you've prepared yourself. So we want to set up the belief system. Notice if you have any limiting beliefs around channeling, or all of those doubts and fears and inner criticism that comes up for you, and do that work. Second, you want to create your space. So get comfortable, get quiet, be in a place that's undisturbed, be in a place that maybe speaks to you. As I mentioned, create a space that's warm and welcoming. And the third part is really just getting still and quiet and doing the mental work to really let go of any attachments. So visualizing yourself dropping out of focus. We're not trying to make sense of this at all. We're just allowing information to come through. So one way that you can start channeling, which is very easy, it's super user-friendly, especially for beginners, is through intuitive writing. So maybe you pause this video and go get yourself a piece of paper and a pen, and then as you're ready, so as you've done the breathing work and you've just kind of set an intention to let go of any attachments, to not make anything happen, I can't emphasize this enough. You want to set another intention, say, I'm ready to receive messages from universal intelligence. These could be messages from a guide, from a spirit animal, from an ancestor, from an angel, from a loved one that's crossed over. It's all universal intelligence. In fact, the way that message comes through is unique to you, and it can be very specific to you. And it might be that you're receiving the message in a way that touches you the most, that is most significant for you at this time. Okay, so there's no distinction between, channeling loved ones versus channeling spirit guides, or spirit animals, or just messages from the collective. It's all the same work. So channeling is just channeling, and it's just a matter of setting the intention of how you want to receive that information. Right now, we're going to focus on this exercise of intuitive writing, just to keep it very, very simple. Okay, so set an intention as you do the breathing. Just relax and really just ask the universe, I am ready to receive a message from you now. Whatever serves my highest and best good. This is important. You want a message that serves your highest and best good because you want something that's going to support you in your practice. That's going to support you in your journey. Perhaps it's a message that you didn't know you needed, but setting that intention for your highest and best good creates a space of allowing love to reach you. Okay, this is essentially what we're doing, is we're allowing love to trickle in from universal intelligence so that we can feel supported, we can feel guided, and we can feel provided for in our practice. Okay, so taking those big belly breaths and just setting that intention and relaxing your pen. Again, don't try to use your mind to write something. Don't focus on your penmanship. Don't focus on what you're spelling or how you're writing things. Just allow your hand to move freely and feel that nudge as you're breathing and just see what sentences come out, if it's a sentence at all. It can be a word, it can be a few words jumbled together that don't make any sense. Whatever comes through, I want you to practice trusting it. Okay. And that means just letting go. This is just you and me. There's nobody here. There's nobody watching. There's no one that you have to explain this to. So just get comfortable in your own inner exploration of what it means to receive this channeled guidance, and take your pen and take a moment to just write out whatever comes through, and give yourself a few minutes to do that. And you can pause this video and come back. Good. So now that you've given yourself a few minutes to do that, I want you to look at the paper and see what you've written. Okay, and it can be something that is significant. It can be the name of a person. It can be a color, a description. It can be even just a few scribbles. That's okay. The point is that you're learning to receive information. Okay, it's very important as we're receiving that we're becoming more sensitive. We're becoming more sensitive to what we see, what we hear, and what we can feel. Okay, these are the three main areas that we're working on. Notice how in 3D, we're really in three different ways very desensitized from what we feel, what we hear, and what we see. And so we're developing the sensitivity as we're sitting and breathing and preparing, setting the stage for being able to receive this intuitive guidance, whatever it is. And it may not make sense. In the early stages, this guidance has to filter its way through all of your limiting beliefs, through all of your conditioning. And so as we develop this practice, we work to clear some of this internal landscape so that we can receive clear guidance. Okay. And again, just trusting and surrendering to the process, allowing things to come through, however they are, without judging them. Okay. The next exercise we're going to try together is just allowing messages, audio messages to come through. We're going to practice receiving clairaudience. And this is one of the many clairs that there are. So just again, breathing, taking a big belly breath, relaxing, perhaps shaking off your intuitive writing exercise. Again, big belly breaths, just relaxing and regulating the nervous system and clearing any judgments you might have, letting go of any attachments. We're not trying to make anything happen. We're not listening for anything specific. We're just allowing ourselves to receive. Okay. And here we can set an intention again and say, I'm willing to receive a message that serves my highest and best good. Notice if you can hear anything. You can hear a sound, you can hear music, you can hear words. Perhaps you can hear anything that really stands out for you. Okay. You can hear other people talking. Notice if you can hear the sound of animals or machinery or whatever it is. Okay. So nature sounds, just really opening up your ability to receive the information that comes through in whichever way it comes through for you. It can be a message. Okay. So, and again, you want to make sure that you're not using your mind to figure it out, to make more out of what you're hearing, to make sense of it. As soon as we start to use our minds to make sense of it, or to dig deeper, or to figure out what's being channeled, we've lost our connection. Okay, this is imagination now. It's not. I want you to use your discernment. Discernment means I'm allowing things to come through without judgment, and I'm trusting that whatever comes through is exactly what I need at this time. So just take a few moments and pause this video and write down what you heard. So again, don't try to make sense of it. Don't judge it. Just allow it to be whatever it is. Now we're going to try this again. We're going to close our eyes and we're going to practice receiving physical sensations. Okay, so notice we've just done the clairaudience. Now we want to do the clairsentience. We want to develop that. Okay, so just allowing ourselves again to relax, big belly breath, let go of any attachment. We're not trying to make anything happen. Allowing for those physical sensations to come through. It can feel like a tap on the shoulder. It can feel like a sensation somewhere in your body. Perhaps there's some tension, or perhaps there's a little intuitive nudge. Okay, so just Set the intention. I'm willing to experience a sensation, a message from universal intelligence that serves my highest and best good. Good. So take a few moments now, pause this video, and go write down exactly what you felt. And if you didn't feel anything, that's okay. And we're always feeling something, but we're in the beginning stages of developing our sensitivity. Okay. So it's very important as you do these exercises that you're not judging yourself. Okay. That you're just kind of like, notice how, oh, this is silly, or I'm not really getting anything, or I don't have the ability to do this. This is all of the stuff that's in the way of you being able to really channel. It's also all of the stuff that's in the way of everything that you're trying to accomplish in your life, whether it's getting the new job or developing the relationship or, getting your health on track. All of the ways in which we limit ourselves start to show up regardless of what task we're undertaking. And today we're undertaking the task of developing ourselves as channels. Okay, so it's all the same limiting beliefs that are coming up. All right, so lastly, we're going to try channeling, speaking into the flow. Okay, so we're going to speak into the universe, and we're going to allow the universe to speak back to us, and we're going to observe any words or language that we feel prompted to share. Okay, now for this part, of course, you can write it down. You can also record yourself, which is also a fun way to do this. So if you have a smartphone, you can hit voice memo, you can hit record for this particular exercise. I want you to really focus on allowing yourself to channel language. Okay, so we're developing clairaudience. We're developing our ability to bring in universal intelligence through the spoken word. So speaking in the flow. So take a deep diaphragmatic breath and relax your nervous system. Let go of any attachments. We're not trying to make anything happen. We're just here, grounded, and we're asking the universe to give us a message that we can speak into that allows us to use this information for our highest and best good. Okay, so I want a message that will serve my highest and best good. Good. And as you speak, it can be anything. It can be a sound, it can be a word, it can be a sentence. The same way that you did the intuitive writing, just allow that information to come through, to be audible, and to let go and relax. Good. And take a minute now. You can either write down what you said or listen to the recording. You can listen to the recording at the end of this video and just observe, what came through for you today. Okay, whether they were images that were clear or sounds that you heard or words that you were able to articulate, we're starting to develop ourselves as channels. Okay, we're trusting the information that comes through. When I connect to a person's energy through a question or some kind of prompt, I'm open. I'm open to receiving information in any way, shape, or form. I often get visions, so I get images of what serves this person, or I feel, and I also feel emotions. So, clear empathy is something that most of us can easily develop. We can feel other people's feelings, right? So, notice how information wants to come through for you, what feels more readily accessible, and just trust that these messages, even if they don't really make sense, are actually starting to build your conversation with universal intelligence. Okay. And again, these are exercises you can practice anytime. And the more you do them, perhaps you have a favorite one, like the intuitive writing is something you can try every day for several weeks and see how that shapes for you. Or perhaps you prefer the, channeling through visions and see how that works for you. But stick with one and really develop it and notice if information starts to come through in other ways. Again, relaxing and dropping out of focus and letting go of the reasoning mind and this deep desire to have that security, that the correct information, to be able to trust what we need. This is the way that the mind works, and so we want to just let that go and allow information to come through, even if it doesn't make any sense. Okay, because it's all, like I said, starting to build your own ability to channel universal intelligence. And you might start to feel in these practices that something is talking to you, and could be another entity, it could be another being, it could be someone that you knew, it can be someone that you know currently. Oftentimes when I'm doing mediumship work, I'm channeling loved ones that crossed over, and sometimes I'm channeling loved ones that are still alive, that are still here. As far as I'm concerned, there is no other side. It's all universal intelligence, and we're surrounded by all of it at all times. Okay, you could be sitting and meditating and wanting to receive a message from one of your, spirit animals, and that spirit animal could be right there purring on your lap, and you just don't sense it because you haven't, you haven't opened yourself up to receiving guidance in that way. Once we start to believe that things are possible for us, which is the first step that I talked about at the beginning of the video, which really opens up the pathway for us, so many channels of information, so many different ways in which we can sense information start to become available to us. Okay, so really setting up that proper foundation of it's possible for me, I can do this, clearing up your energetic space wherever it is you're going to do this work, and then doing some ritual that allows you to meditate, that get clear, and to just relax. You can channel anywhere, anytime, and once you've established a practice. But in the meantime, especially if you're a beginner, I recommend finding, again, that quiet place where you feel comfortable relaxing and doing this work. Okay, and again, it's very important as you start to channel to really let go of any attachments to any outcome, any specific type of information. Oftentimes one way in which we can channel information is through the use of divination tools. And oftentimes, this is one of the questions I get a lot in my classes is, how do I know it's me? And how do I know, this is a message from universal intelligence, And so it's important to trust what you're receiving. And as soon as you feel attached to the message that's coming through, the vision that you're seeing, or the physical sensation that you're experiencing, as soon as you feel attached to it and you want to start to make it more than what it is, you've lost your connection. Okay, and the purity of the information has sort of been contaminated with your own will, and we need to relax and let go and just bring ourselves back to center. That's all. The same way you would do when you're meditating. When you have distracting thoughts that roll in during your meditation practice, you observe them, and then you bring yourself back to center, back to the awareness of the breath, back to the stillness in the present moment. It's the same when channeling. Okay, you might find yourself distracted by the desire to have a certain response or a certain answer. Bring yourself back into that space of neutral awareness, trusting that whatever information comes through is for your highest and best good. Okay, and this is, again, I can't emphasize that enough when we're learning to channel. And lastly, the thing I want to talk about today is this fear of channeling negative energies. Okay, this is oftentimes a concern I get in my classes, fear of psychic attack, fear of negative entities attaching themselves to me, fear that I might feel something that I don't want to feel, or see something that I don't want to see. Okay, so that's why it's so important to have a practice where you are grounded and you know how to regulate your nervous system, and you're practicing self-care and energetic hygiene. I talk about that in another video, which I'll share here at the end. It's so important to have, this clear, clean space and a pure intention to channel benevolent energies that are there to serve your highest and best good. Okay, so if you have a lot of fear and anxiety in your daily life, you're going to project that into your channeling practice. Okay, so it's important to work through those fears and those doubts and those limitations, as I talked about. That's step one. Okay, the second thing I want to say is that you're safe. You're always safe. Okay, and you can set the intention when you're channeling to only receive messages from higher beings that have your best interest in mind, that serve your highest and best good, messages that are grounded in truth, in light, and in love. Okay, so that also can offer some unconscious reassurance and conscious reassurance as well as you're channeling, so that you can receive messages that you feel safe receiving messages, and that nothing bad or scary is going to happen to you. Okay, the fear of loss of control is something that can get in the way of being able to channel clearly. Just like the fear of making a mistake or getting it wrong can interfere with our ability to channel clear messages. So letting go of all of that and trusting that there is no mistake, there is no wrong message, there is no there's no threat to me in this practice. I am safe, and it is my birthright to connect with universal intelligence, to be able to expand this 3D consciousness into something much bigger. There's so much more available to us, and that I'm safe to do that. Okay. And once you're done with your channeling practice, whether you're doing intuitive writing or, channeling with language, or receiving messages through, or visions, through your clairvoyance, whatever type of channeling you're practicing, just knowing that once you're done, you want to disconnect. You want to thank your higher self for serving you in this practice, and practicing some energetic hygiene techniques, things that you can do to just sort of close off the space. You can have a little meditation ritual. One thing that I like to do as well is burn sage. I do that at the beginning and I do it at the end, just to sort of clear out the space, in terms of whatever energies I might have been receiving. So that's something that works for me. It's very anchoring. So you might want to try that as well. Okay, so I would love to hear if these exercises are working for you, if they have worked for you, if you're stuck with them, if you have any questions about them, if there's anything that I shared here that isn't clear, you'd like more explanation about, please feel free to leave your comments below. I always love to hear from you, and I love to answer your questions. And if you like this content, please feel free to like and subscribe and share it with your friends. I will see you Wednesday evenings at 5 p.m. Pacific on Oracle Hour, where I channel on the spot guidance. You can see this work, live and in action, which is one of my favorite things to do. So I will see you soon. All my love.